Halloween, the day when the deceased come back to Earth, either with benevolent or not so kind intentions. A day of worship for the depraved. Oh, excuse me. And one of the most cherished holidays by nerds around the world. A day for every flavor of freak. The sci-fi lovers, the fantasy freaks, the history buffs, and all in between. Okay, maybe not every flavor, but above all, a day to celebrate one of our most primal feelings and all the stories and characters we've created to explore it, like Count Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, zombies, the mummy, spooky nurses, normal nurses, female mice, and even a floppy disk. Yeah, we lost the plot. But what better way to celebrate this wonderful and dark day than by getting spooked, or at least trying to. Hi, I'm Jay, your humble guide in today's exploration of the weird, definitely very scary, and in no way similar to Resident Evil world of Chaos Break. But before we begin, thank you so much for spending your time here with me. I really appreciate it. Starting a new game, we can choose between Mitsuki and Rake, special force agents of the DEF. What does that mean? I don't know. And I don't even think the game knows. Both of their campaigns are extremely similar, so I'll heavily abbreviate the second one, only showing interesting changes in new areas. We'll start with Mitsuki because she's cute. In the opening cutscene, we are given a little bit of context on the island and the mission.
The facility which you will be infiltrating is Furuksas. Biomaterial. It's a civilian research facility. We suspect that research taking place there is related to parasitic tissue. Infrared sensor data from surveillance satellites indicates a high Your mission will be to determine the condition of the research.
Yeah, I also thought that maybe I had the game at 2x speed or something, but nope, the subtitles just go that fast. I guess the developer really didn't want to waste your time, huh?
Roger.
We get dropped off in the helipad of the research facility and start exploring. In the cargo area, we find some monsters that look a hell of a lot like the facehuggers from Alien, but due to copyright law are not, and start killing. In our arsenal, we have a main weapon, in the case of Mitsuki a pair of pistols that use bullets, and also have a secondary attack that uses special ammo with different effects like napalm, spark, gas, surge, and launcher. You know, the quintessential ways to commit war crimes. Aside from that, we can use melee attacks with X and dodge with R1. The first thing you'll notice about this game, aside from how the voice acting gets cut in every cutscene, is that the camera sucks. Holy, it's been a while since I've had to fight a game camera so much as I had to in this game. And it is so badly designed that even when you are staying still, the camera will try to go through walls and start shaking. Could you please stop shaking for 1 minute? We rendezvous with the boys and examine the entrance to the facility. No, Jake! Maybe the research they were doing on this island was not the safest. We finally entered the facility proper, and now it's time to subscribe, because that's what cool people do to support the channel, but also to investigate what happened here. The facility is being protected by some robots, and every level is blocked by security doors, each requiring a different code, security card, or key to be unlocked. We'd start exploring, searching for the way to unlock the level 2 security doors, and find a random bottle of heart medicine and a note on the body of one of the researchers with the security code written on it. Next to the lifeless body, we can access a computer terminal, and reading through the emails, it is clear that things were not going smoothly. People were getting infected with something, and the likely culprit was a mutated rat.
I hate rats, and we are going to kill some rats.
Realizing the security for level 2, and after picking up the legendary bathroom soda, we enter the control room and reunite with our boy Larry.
The same thing as the life form that was found in...
It resulted from the same cells. I'm Larry. Fix the communicator.
What are you going to do?
I want to check out the research facility.
So, this game is actually a sort of sequel to an arcade title called Chaos Heat, where the cells of a newly discovered lifeform mutate a bunch of creatures and cause an emergency in a huge research facility. And Mitsuki, who was one of the playable characters in that game along with Rick, believes those same cells might have been the culprit for the demise of this facility. We go down to the research area trying to find the evil organism responsible for this and get attacked by a mutated researcher. After disposing of it and some others scattered around the level, we find our progress being halted by a laser wall. So it's time to look for another password. Luckily, in the pockets of a fallen scientist, we find an electronic key which unlocks the cafeteria, but
What's this hole?
we pick up the journal of another dead scientist before getting eaten alive and just wait in a corner while the stupid worm just hits the wall. We somehow get a code from completing the Sudoku created by the dead scientist in his journal. No, really, where does this code come from? And deactivate the laser wall, accessing the elevator to B2. We fight some more mutants,
He's already dead.
explore more rooms, and pick up more random chemicals.
Chili powder.
But too many doors here are locked with level 3 security, so instead we take another elevator to B3, not before receiving a call from our boy Larry. As soon as we get off the elevator, a huge version of the facehuggers starts chasing us. In this floor, we see the signs of a breeding operation of the facehuggers and even more dead scientists. A poetic cause and effect. Luckily, not all the scientists were wiped out. And in the main room, we meet a female researcher that by pure chance needs the heart medicine we picked up at the beginning.
What's wrong with you? The heart drug.
She is Rachel, the assistant chief researcher. She instructs us to bring a life form, i.e. a facehugger, bred in a sterile environment, usually stored in the 4th basement on the level 4 security, to create the AP, a cure against the infection. She hands us her level 3 security card, and off we go to find a way to deactivate the next security level. In one of the rooms of this floor, we find a chart with a crossword puzzle that contains the password, but to complete it, we need the name of the scientist in charge of this part of the facility. We go on a hunt for dead nerds, picking up even more random chemicals in the process, and enter the password in the security terminal after completing the puzzle. Next, we locate the B4 elevator and obtain a magnetic key, but as soon as we grab it, we get attacked by some way more developed mutants. Reaching the breeding room, we find more of these monsters, and after emptying our clip in both of them, we finally reach the specimens and start the process of taking every single one back to Rachel. Hi, Editor J here. Yeah, I just needed one of the specimens, but because I played this game while at work, I didn't pay much attention to the cutscene, and so I basically lost 20 minutes of my life out of pure stupidity. On the way back, we find even more enemies, but most of them are pretty pretty slow, and so we get back to Rachel without much hassle. Now, given the injuries she has sustained, we are the ones who need to dissect the alien thing. So we grab a scalpel and start a minigame that reminded me so much of Trauma Center for the Nintendo DS. We follow Rachel's instructions, cutting everywhere, taking out organs and closing valves. And we fail. So, time to use another alien. Luckily, I had already brought all the specimens here, so who's laughing now? We complete the operation on the second try and extract the vesicle needed to create the AP. But to make it, we need to inject the vesicle cells into one of us and use the contaminated blood as a component. So, I sacrifice myself as the noble hero that we are and start the search for the synthesizer. We then take too long to find it and die. So we have to go through all the dissection again, and this time, by mistake, may I say, I choose Rachel to be the one to be infected. So if we don't hurry, she'll be the one who dies. Back in B2, we finally locate the synthesizer, and after putting in all the chemicals and samples that we got, we start one of the hardest minigames I played. Not because it is unfair, on the contrary, it is extremely fair. Why? Because it is all about reaction time. You have to stop the wave exactly in the middle point of the screen 5 times, and each time the wave gets more and more complex. I legit did not expect something like this to be in the game, so I had to lock in, and after many attempts, we managed to create the AP and go back just in time to save our baby Rachel. Now we need to find the monster and kill it using the AP, but first we should take Rachel to a safer place. So let's go back to the command center.
Yo, looks like the communication room's power supply has been taken. That'll have to be fixed directly.
Okay, let's go fix that comms tower. In our room, right next to the command center that was previously locked behind a level 4 door, we find the rat everyone was talking about.
Rats.
And the software disk we needed for the comms room. Behind the other level 4 doors we couldn't access earlier, we find the repair kit and the maintenance room. At this point in the game, I had wasted all of my bullets in stupid ways, as well as all of my heals, so I had to dodge every enemy. And we are introduced to the electric bugs, which are stupid and smelly and ugly, and I hate them. The holes for the next section are filled with them, and they will run you down and hit you even if you dodge all the way, so I died a bunch here. But once I finally reached the door, I got rewarded with one of the funniest reactions I've seen in any video game.
What was he doing here?
Moving on, we have to deal with more stupid bugs, this time in a sort of tunnel area, and after reloading for half an hour straight, we reach the comms room. In the top of the tower, we repair the malfunctioning machine, and...
Interior contamination level. We need to decontaminate the entire... The teams had one accident.
Jake,
Fixing the comms system also unlocks the level 5 doors, so we make our way back to the main floor and prepare to face the ugly organism causing all of this death and suffering. We take the main elevator down to B5, and after adjusting the CO2 levels of the room with a nice little minigame, we enter the breeding room. In this mini-boss fight, similar to the first one, you only need to ignore the worm and get out of the room. We meet the almost perfect version of the mutants, purple and nimble organisms with tentacles and sharp claws. And after taking 2 more elevators down and fixing the CO2 levels of the main breeding room, we finally meet the root of all of our problems. The fight is fairly simple. You need to run away from the worms and wait for the perfect moment to attack them. A pattern extremely simple and made basically trivial by the use of tracking rockets. And after defeating the big bad blob, we get the hell out of that facility and escape in our helicopter, saving the day once again. And that is Mitsuki's campaign. But we still have rigs left, so...
Chaos. Break.
This time, we access the facility through the sewers and...
What's this? Oh no! Retreat!
we make our way to Larry's location, but unfortunately...
Larry.
No, Larry! In one of the nearby rooms,
wait
we
a
meet the
second.
same scientist we saw die from Mitsuki's perspective.
What was he doing?
The scientist's name is Sean, and we need to escort him to the command center where we'll rendezvous with Jake. So, with the help of some movie magic... From here, everything else is the same. We get our bathroom refreshment, unlock all the doors, watch a stupid worm hit a wall, meet Rachel, dissect the alien, rescue Rachel, bring her to the command center, and find out that Jake is gone. What?
Are you acquainted?
I'm sorry, but I don't know.
On our way to the comms tower, something different is that we find a mini boss fight in the middle of the caves for no apparent reason. At least it was a fun fight though. And once in the comms towers, we are joined by Jake. We go back to the command center and there instruct Jake to take care of the escape logistics while we go hunt down the life form down in the breeding chamber.
I'm an old hand at this.
We do exactly the same things we did before, all the way down to the final boss fight, but this time, thanks to beating the whole game in less than 2 hours, we get the true final boss. Patient Zero, the ultimate form of the mutated creature. He is really fast and jumps around the whole area, making it really hard to hit him. He also hits like a truck, and after losing some health, starts using a range attack that can take half of your health. But after many tries and a lot of tracking rockets, we defeat him and escape the facility in our helicopter, giving an end to this creature's reign of terror and saving the day once again. And that was Chaos Break, a pretty nice survival horror with 95% survival and only 5% horror. But hey, I had fun, and hopefully you too had fun, and that's all that matters. Now, but to be honest, it is a pretty cool little game for any fan of the genre. It only took me like 2 hours and 45 minutes to beat both campaigns, and the movement and combat feel so nice that it becomes a completely different experience from any other survival horror of this era. The plot is as flat as Mitsuki's chest, and the hallways can be a bit repetitive, but it is short enough that it doesn't become boring, and with the neat minigames sprinkled in, it becomes a really comfortable option for anyone looking to play something new. If you made it all the way here, first of all, thank you so much. I could even kiss you right now. And second of all, you might like my other videos. So here, please, if you have the time, do check them out, and subscribing and leaving a like would mean the world to me. If you want more from the highly qualified dumbass currently speaking, you can follow me on my social media or catch me making the worst decisions in Pokemon Colosseum. But anyway, see you in the next one. Bye bye.